This week on Star Cars, it's all about KITT. We're here in Universal City at the Knight Rider reunion, celebrating 30 years of Knight Rider. We're going to talk to some of the owners of these beautiful cars and the people who brought KITT to the screen. Keep your scanners peeled.
Everyone loves Knight Rider. Who doesn't love the Hoff? It's the greatest thing on earth.
Every man in America wanted to have a car like that.
Black, tan, T-tops. No matter what the price was on it, I had to have it.
My big brother and me used to watch Knight Rider. I saw in '82 and I had to have it.
When I was younger, I promised myself that one day I'm going to have the car.
When I saw it in person, I fell in love with it and I had to have it.
We're here to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Knight Rider, which debuted in 1982. We've got screen-used props, we've got guests, autographs, we've got tons of replicas out there, kits, cars, and even some custom ones.
I always loved the show, and the car drives itself. So I wanted a car like that. To create KITT, I replaced the nose, replaced the wheels, and replaced the interior, like the dash, got the correct seats. It took me 3 years to build KITT.
How much did that cost?
After 10,000, I stopped counting. It's appeared on the roast of David Hasselhoff and at Comic-Con 2012 for Mattel at the Hot Wheels display. Oh, the car is great. I always get thumbs up. People are trying to take the pictures. Makes me feel like Michael and I are badass.
When I was a kid, I loved to draw cars. And as a grown-up, I get to draw cars too. KITT's probably the most famous TV car that I worked on. There's been some others too, the 3 Back to the Future movies. Tango and Cash, crazy truck for that. Fern Gully has a machine that eats trees. Oh, lots of things.
What was the most challenging part for you in making KITT?
Time. Just 3.5 weeks. We worked some long hours, and it really came together.
Why was the Pontiac Trans Am chosen for KITT?
People were really interested in it before it came out. It was in all the magazines and so on. We had cars that looked like bricks for a long time. This was the first really great-looking car in a while. If you're making a TV show and it's got a special car in it, you want to put some work into it to make it a little bit different. But if the car gets wrecked, you have to have some others ready to roll. The more you change, the more expensive and impossible it gets to do that, right? So if you just modify the interior and maybe put a different nose on the car, that's a lot more livable than an entirely new body for it. It's a practical concern. There's a lot of thinking that went into it. I was trying to shield the LEDs from bright sunlight because at the time, these lights were really dim and they wouldn't show up on film. The idea was it was an organization of information where the most important stuff would be in front of your eyes.
With such a unique steering wheel, where did that concept come from?
I always thought those steering yokes on planes looked kind of neat. So I thought if you took the lines of the dash, brought them down and across and down and spread them out across this yoke, kind of makes it all of one piece. Not the most practical thing on the street, but it feels great. It's like some kind of a dream that people remember the show and they care about it and they'll build these cars. And that's the biggest compliment a design could ever have.
I own the Decepticart. Car is the evil twin of KITT, which was made first, by the way. Car, which is the Knight automated roving robot, has a yellow scanner, which in the original series was voiced by Peter Cullen, the voice of Optimus Prime in Transformers. I basically wanted to create something like Car, but with my own additions to it. A Lambo door feature, doors open up vertically. Also add a 42-inch screen TV in the back of the trunk. I can watch all the episodes all day long if I want. We also add wide rims and wide tires. Did some customization on the dash. Over a span of 3 years, it took me to put the car together. On the TV show, unfortunately, KITT won. In my eyes, Car always is the winner.
This is the KITT from the new TV series.
Can you tell us a little bit about the 2008 Knight Rider show?
It ran for only one season from 2008-2009. Featured a Mustang instead of a Trans Am because there were no Trans Ams anymore. And in the new series, KITT was voiced by Val Kilmer.
Tell us a little bit about this car. It's screen used, right?
Yes, it was used for all the interior filming of the new show. They call it the gimbal car because it was attached to what they also called a rotisserie that would spin it around. So it never saw the road. It's like brand new when I got it. The donor car is just a standard V6 Mustang. It's all dolled up with all the real Shelby Mustang parts to make it look like a GT500 KR, but it's really just the base V6. It's still a lot of fun to drive.
After the classic series, a lot of spin-offs. What do you think about those?
Well, quite frankly, I thought they were horrible. They dehumanized the car. In our series, KITT was actually a character and a buddy to Michael Knight. The subsequent shows the car was just a car. It was a transformer car that did silly things, and I don't think the effects were as effective as the ones we did the old-fashioned hard way.
I think if they had given it time like they did the original show, I think the second season would have been better. Towards the end of the season, it was definitely getting better.
If you were given the Mustang, what would you do to make it awesome?
I would take that Mustang, drive it to the nearest dealer, and trade it in for a Trans Am.
I think Knight Rider was such a hit because it had a perfect cast, it had a great car.
Having the car lets people see it and relive their childhood.
The whole idea of the show, one man can make a difference, that just struck a chord in me.
Now that I have my children, we can sit down together and enjoy a family time. This is something that we don't have nowadays in most TV shows.
People, before recorded history, they tell each other stories around the fire. We had myths for hundreds of thousands of years, and now we watch the TV. But Knight Rider came close to being a myth for people.